Jett Thomalla has announced a verbal commitment to the Crimson Tide, joining the Tide's 2026 recruiting class, becoming the seventh commit after flipping his commitment from Iowa State. The four-star quarterback is a product of Nebraska. The Crimson Tide offered him in May. Alabama's former offensive coordinator, now that quarterback coach, Nick Sheridan, got out to Nebraska, got an opportunity to see Thomalla throw, and the Alabama offer came a few days later. And the Crimson Tide immediately made him a priority in his 2026 recruiting class. Thomalla telling me immediately after that offer was extended, there was not a day that went by that Nick Sheridan didn't call either his dad, him, or his quarterbacks coach. Of course, we talked about why the Crimson Tide won't a 2026 quarterback in the past. Alabama wants a 2026 quarterback because it's more of an insurance policy, more of a safety valve, because it's kind of hard to predict where the Crimson Tide's quarterback room will look after the 2025 football season. If Ty Simpson becomes a starter like he's projected to be, he say he has a breakout season. He moves on to the NFL. You can take a look that you have Austin Mack and Keelan Russell, of course, fighting for that position. But what if one of those guys wanted to hit the transfer portal? That is always an option. Teams are always shopping around NIL deals and all of the things that you guys are well aware of. And what if the Crimson Tide look up and they have one quarterback in their room? So that is kind of like some of the things that the Crimson Tide's coaching staff have to prepare for, which is why they wanted to add a 2026 quarterback. And like I said, there's so many different directions Alabama's 2025 quarterback room could look like after that season wraps up. Heck, you could have all three guys returning because they still have eligibility remaining, which is something that is not highly likely, but it is likely at this point. But in terms of what Thomalla brings to the table, you're talking about a guy who can push the football down the field really well. Almost looks like he's throwing the football on the rope when he's pushing the ball down the field. Does a great job of keeping his eyes down the field as he's working up in the pocket. You're going to see him move up in the pocket quite a bit. You're going to see him maneuver around the pocket, make people miss, showing he has some type of quickness and twitchiness to his game as well. But you're going to see that throughout his film. But probably, like I said, the most impressive thing is his ability to throw that deep ball with a great touch and make a good variety of throws as well. The thing about Thomalla, and I think is kind of like what Alabama was going after in this 2026 recruiting class when it comes to quarterback position. You don't necessarily have to have a transcendent type of quarterback you sign this 2026 recruiting class, because if Keelan Russell plans out to be as good as people project him to be, you're looking at a guy like Thomalla, who's probably not going to get to play until his junior or senior year, which says a lot about Thomalla. They're taking on the challenge because he will have the option to come in and compete right away. The best man wins. So if he comes in and outplays Keelan Russell, of course, he's going to get the opportunity to start in front of Russell in Tuscaloosa. But if Russell is as good as people think he is going to be, you're going to see Thomalla possibly have to wait until his time, like I said, which speaks volumes in today's world if he does take on that challenge and sits in Tuscaloosa for a couple of seasons before it is his time to play on the field. But the Crimson Tide, like I said, wanted to land a quarterback here in this 2026 recruiting class. Now they have the guy in Jett Thomalla. But as always, thank you guys so much for joining me today on the YouTube channel. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, be notified when we drop content on our YouTube channel.